Okay. I am here with engineer Sir Tony Scully. Good morning, sir.
Good morning
How
to
are you
you.
today?
I'm very hot.
Sir, may I ask you to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Tony Scully. I am a retired electrical engineer and I miss it. Yes, yes. But I still do electrical work for friends. That's about it, really.
Where did you work before?
I started off with working on controls for an American company in England, and it was all to do with pneumatics, fluidics, electronic controls, building management systems. In England we call it BMS, Building Management Systems, where we literally control the whole building. We control the lifts, setting the priorities in lifts on high-rise buildings, all the air conditioning, monitoring the incoming power and regulating the incoming power. In England we call it maximum demand, where if there's a slight power shortage, we can, on the BMS computer, we can turn off various parts of the electrics in the building. For instance, light bulbs in coffee machines waste a lot of electricity. You know, just simple things. Signs outside the building we can switch off to save energy. We were very energy conscious. But the most important thing that we were drummed into us was safety. That was the most important thing of all. Safety first,
Yeah.
work after.
Wow, that's a good motto.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, in England, safety is on construction. There are safety officers walking around. If you don't wear a hard hat, you're off the site.
Wow.
If you don't have protective footwear, off. No messing. No second chance, you're off. That's it.
Well, what do they call engineers there?
It's a very interesting point. In construction, there are two categories of the staff on a construction site. You have what they call project managers, which are basically construction guys. On very large construction projects in England, the construction company don't have men with spanners.
You don't have men.
No, they are managers. They manage contractors, manage subcontractors. And the guys that manage all the building side of it, we call sticks and stones men.
Sticks and stones.
Yes. And the guys that handle all the electrical work and plumbing and air conditioning, they're called pipes and wires men.
Pipes and wires.
So when you're assigned to a project, when you first arrive there on that day, the first thing the guys say, are you pipes and wires or sticks and stones? We say pipes and wires. And then the construction guys say, oh no, not more.
There's an abundance.
They're very interesting things. To walk onto a construction site with a roll of plans under your arm, and you're just looking at grass, and you know that where that grass is, you're going to build a 20-story office block.
Sir, in your projects, have you worked with civil engineers? Because I am studying civil engineering now.
I think in the construction business, I don't think there's a big difference between structural engineers and civil engineers. I've known civil engineers that are working as structural engineers. I know structural engineers are working as electricians. I think in the construction industry, there's lots of overlap. You take the job. if the money's there. You know, if you're a structural engineer today and you see a job for a civil engineer, you apply and you probably get the job.
Really?
I mean, in England, most civil engineers are working on building big roads, bridges,
Yeah.
but they have what it takes in here to work in construction.
Ah, okay. Well, sir, for young engineers like me, what advice can you give?
Listen to the old men.
Listen to the more experienced.
They have the experience. While you got your computer out and you're doing a few calculations, they've already done it in their head, and they're out there doing the work now. And 10 minutes later, you come up with the solution on your scientific calculator, and you go and see the guy and say, "Okay, I've solved the problem." They say, "Oh, it's finished. We already finished."
They are more experienced, yes.
That's what it is. In England, they always make sure that young graduate engineers always work with older men.
Sir Tony, may I ask, what is your annual income?
In those days, when I was working, it was about £50,000.
That's very big for us. Well, in the Philippines,
For the construction industry, it's not big.
it's regular. It's a
Yeah,
regular.
yeah. So you need to come to England when you graduate.
I want to work there.
That's it, really.
Well, I learned a lot from you this morning, and thank you, Sir Tony, for
Good.
having an interview with me.
So when you're qualified, come to England and earn bigger money.
Oh, wow, thank you. I hope so.
Oh,